It's me again, the Shemite Perspective. Again with another video. Speaking on some things. Take time to like, share, subscribe. Support the channel. Hate the channel. By hating the channel, just confirming what we already know is that you're just a hater. Purebred hater. From the hating island of haters, born to two haters, who were also born to four haters. Biological, natural hater. But I ain't come here to talk about you haters. I came to speak on something else. I made a post the other day, pretty thought-provoking. I said that Satan sent Eve to do what even he couldn't do.
Wow.
I said Satan sent Eve to do what even he couldn't do. What do you mean by that? Well, we know the end of the story. Kicked out of the garden for sinning, because of, eating from the tree of the light, the knowledge of good and evil, forbidden fruit, if you will. A direct order that was given to Adam face to face. He was molded out of the clay. Walked through the garden, dealt with Yahweh personally. Face to face. There was no sin. He said, but it's just these two trees. Don't bother them. The tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's our problem. We want to know every damn thing. The knowledge of good and evil. Some things ain't meant for you to know. My priest likes to say you on a need-to-know basis with Yahweh. So all these frivolous questions people be asking that don't have nothing to do with salvation, you don't need to know all of that. So what happens? Adam gets here and he walks the earth, walks the garden. No problems. Named all the animals. Named all the plants and vegetables. And lived in peace. Satan trying him. These things aren't written, but I'm pretty sure Satan trying him. Nothing. One day Yahweh puts him to sleep and says, it is not good for man to be alone. So he took from him a rib and he created woman, which literally means from man, and said she is to be a help meet. He looked at that creation and named her woman, said, for she is flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. Time goes by. One day, let's just say Adam goes off to work. Comes home. Eve sitting in the living room with attitude. What's wrong with you? I want you to try this fruit. But let me back up a little bit. I don't mind Devil's Workshop. She ain't got nothing to do all day. So what happens? These things creep into her mind. Here comes Satan. Hey, see the tree over there? It's good for fruit. Yeah, but we eat it, we'll die. Here comes Satan. You won't surely die. A what? Because what did they say about Satan? Or the serpent? That it was more what? Subtle than any of the other beasts of the field. Subtle. That's why the churches are full of women. That's why men don't get pimped. Because y'all love convenient lies better than the inconvenient truth. Y'all just want something that sound good and feel good. So you'll sit up in a church all day and listen to this pimp lie to you all day and tell you how wonderful and blessed you are when you going home to poverty and you driving home in a Benz, but I digress. You won't surely die. She went right for it, hook, line, and sinker. Fell for the game. Adam come home. She done ate of the fruit. Hey, let's eat of this fruit. Adam know better. But it's something about the power of a woman that can convince you and drive a man to do things that he would never have thought of doing. The physical strength of no man can match the mental strength of a woman. The stupidest woman you ever met in your life has the power to gaslight like no one else. So what did he do? He went on ahead and went against the direct word of Yahweh. Satan could not get him to do that. The Bible doesn't say, but I am pretty sure Satan tried him so many times throughout the however many years he walked this earth alone. It was not until he got the woman and the woman went out. Now, am I blaming Eve? No, I blame the head. He should have said, no, woman. He should have told her what Job said, you foolish woman. Because nothing happened until he sinned. Why? Because it was him that was given the order. It was his job to control his woman. So I say this, men, be careful the women that you give access to your emotions, because they are very dangerous people. Women have an ability we do not have. Their mind is stronger than our muscles. They can cause us and put us in a hypnotic state that we'll be doing stuff to harm ourselves and don't even know it, just simply because they've drawn us into an emotional battle. We cannot. That's why I have a policy. I've told this to people. I do not argue and I do not debate women, because it's never going to stay on topic. They have to win. And then whenever they run out of points, they're going to get into insults just so that they can get you to fight on their battlefield, which is an emotional plane. At all times, stay, what is the word I want to say, sober-minded whenever dealing with females. Bless their heart, they can't help certain things. And it comes from the original woman. Satan sent Eve to do something that he couldn't do. The Philistines sent Delilah to do something that they couldn't do. Could nobody get the source of this man's strength? She aggravated this man to the point he said, fuck it. Here, it's my hair. 7 locks, by the way. It's my hair. You happy? Be careful the women that you allow into your space. And in these days, it's getting fewer and far between to find quality women, because tradition is being stripped. And people are being told that tradition, the things that have worked on planet Earth for millions of years, are no longer relevant because it's 2022 and things are different. So what's worked all along no longer applies. Be careful who you share your space with. Be very careful who you share your seed with. They switch up when they have your child, because now they got the power. They see, women are selfish. It's just in their nature. Everything's about them. You have a conversation with a woman, they're always going to bring it back to them. It has to be about them. They can't help it. They don't mean no harm, but they're selfish. So whenever you're in a relationship with a woman and there are no children involved, it's all about who? You and her. She the most important person. She has a child. You're not the most important person to her, and she's not the most important person to you anymore. That's just the way that is. Those children become the most important person. The difference is men don't get jealous that the woman cares more about the kids. Women do. So what do? You don't find men weaponizing children. Those women get jealous because now he cares more about them than he does her. And before them, it was all about her. So now what? The only way that I can hurt you is what? Taking something away from you that you care about. Vicious and cruel. They all do it. That's the first thing they go for. Because they can't beat you with these. So they're going to play these kind of games with you to get to this. And when this gets involved with this, bad things tend to happen. And they know that. And they'll gaslight you. You'll let a woman psych you up to doing something that's detrimental to you and anybody else around you. I done watched dudes self-delete because of a woman. Because she done said something to him and hurt his little feelings. Told him his little dick wasn't hitting on nothing or whatever. He broke, he's sorry, whatever she might do. Things that they know gonna get to us. Because they can't whip us, so they play little psychological games. Let's get into full manhood. It took me a long time to get to a point to realize what they were doing. I just had to keep seeing the same thing over and over. And one thing I'm good at is picking up on patterns. And no matter what woman I was dealing with, no matter what the situation was, no matter if it was a romantic situation, if it was a work situation, if it was a school situation, they all do the same thing. It's in them. So be careful with the women in your space and in your life. That from your mother to your daughter, to your girlfriend, to your wife, to your sister. Be careful. Remember who Yahweh placed in leadership and why. Remember why Paul said that I subject a woman not to usurp authority over the man. For it was not the man that was deceived, but the woman. You see, y'all Christian folk, y'all love Paul. Y'all love Paul, but you don't never read that in church. I ain't never heard that read in church. Grew up in church. Converted Hebrew Israelite, but grew up in the Christian church. Never heard that. Never heard more than Matthew 5. I come not to destroy the law and the prophets, but to fulfill. Fulfill means to do. He who breaks the least of these commands or teaches one to do so shall be considered the least in the kingdom of heaven. Never read that on Sunday. Never heard that on Sunday. You only gonna hear that on Shabbat. That's Saturday, 7th day. Satan sent Eve to do what even he couldn't do. Think about that and let that sink in. A lot of the things I'm dealing with now, if I had that knowledge 15, 16, 17 years ago, I wouldn't be dealing with the things I'm dealing with now. So this is really for young men coming up. My nephews. Be very careful. Like I got a nephew deal with so much crap dealing with his kids. Good young man trying to be somebody. And I'm going to see to it that he be the next biggest thing in the music game. The boy gifted. Well, the man is gifted. He a grown man. Sorry, nephew. But I had to tell him, bruh, let them have it. They can't whoop you. Only thing they going to try to do is get in your head to have you doing stupid shit, going in and out of damn jail, stressing yourself out, and you end up bald-headed like your doggone uncle because of stress. Let them have it. We're men. We run the world. The only thing they can do is play little doggone games to get in our head. Don't let them. It's more of them than us. That means there's plenty to choose from. Go find you, man. What? Man, go get your bread. Like, share, and subscribe. It's the Shemite Perspective. Shabbat, shalom. It ain't a Shabbat, but shalom.